The history of the Gallic lands is one of struggle, punctuated by moments of sheer brilliance.
Tartan is Scotland's gift to the world, and it is your personal heritage story.
Right beside your drink.
The paper towel.
Paper towel.
Oh. I was blowing my nose with this.
Alright, never mind. Don't look at that one. As they fix things, I'm gonna get...
Wait, now we have
Sound, yeah, hey, wahoo.
Woohoo!
Great. Yeah, we got sound.
Just in time for my beatboxing.
I'm coming! Alright,
Sweet.
so we have sound now, correct? Everybody, can you hear me? Put it in the comments.
I can hear you almost
We have
too.
sound.
Alright, now I gotta... See, this is the problem. You don't erase things on a dry erase board with your fingers. You get all...
Mac
black
looks
schmutz all over
bored.
the place. Mac looked bored.
Come on,
is
Mac.
always bored.
Well,
Get your game together.
I got some C4 with me today, so.
I don't know if I want to have that on audio. All right. Are we ready now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome to Kilted Culture. I'm Rocky. That's not Eric.
Mm-mm.
You know where Eric is? See if Marty's getting ready to do his job? There's Eric.
Yo.
One of these angles.
Nobody puts baby in a box. Or corner or something. Insert funny, dirty dancing meme here. So, welcome to the show. Today's episode, special treat.
It's brought to you by Sound.
Yes.
It's a
Brought
talkie.
to you by hearing aids.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to USA Kilt and Culture.
So, today, special treat, we have the Dalmore. Ian is going to be upset that we did this today. This is one of his favorite whiskeys. I'm not sure if this expression is going to be his favorite, but he does like the Dalmore. So,
Sounds really
all right.
promising.
And in case you haven't noticed, yes, there's something weird and different about my outfit today. All right, Eric, why don't you come over and collect your bottle of whiskey and tell us, or your bottle.
Happy to, sir. I get the whole bottle?
Exactly. Your little glass o' whiskey
You
here.
said I get the whole bottle.
Indeed, yes. After the show. Nope. Where you going? What tartan you wearing today?
Philadelphia Police and Fire, one of my old favorites.
Very nice, very nice. Excellent. Mr. Mack, what do you have on there?
I've got the Stewart hunting weathered tweed.
Very nice, very nice. And I have all over me the Loch Heron Hunting Modern tartan. This is part of a new little thing that we're going to be playing around with, doing some trousers, some vests, some jackets, you know, little expansion o' the wares, so to speak. All right, Eric, while we're talking about
Yes.
the whiskey, the Dalmore, what do we have for the nose and the notes and whatnot?
Sure, Mr. Rocky. The official notice for the whiskey is this Highland single malt Scotch whiskey is aged in a unique combination of American white oak ex-bourbon casks, Matsusalem sherry casks, and port pipes from the Douro Valley. Valour was named to honor the brave actions of Colin of Kintail, chief of the Clan Mackenzie, when he saved the life of King Alexander III of Scotland. So there's your backstory. The nose should be aromatic notes of black currants, vanilla, and musty sherry.
Good old musty sherry.
I had a girlfriend in high school. We used to call him Musty Sherry.
It's grandma's house.
Yes. It's going to get very awkward. All right. So I do get a musty kind of smell to it. You're leading the witness a little bit, but
You told me to read it.
yeah.
Maybe it's the currants, but almost like a dark cherry,
Yeah.
or a cherry for those who don't speak Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the cherry.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay.
Cherry and a little bit of leather. No, that's actually a note.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Marty.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the palate, what do we have?
Okay. Should be, they claim, medium sweet with layers of ripe plums, caramel, chocolate, and citrus zest.
I don't get the citrus, but I get like
I
a
don't get the citrus.
plum kind of fruity sweetness on the sides, a little bit.
I was gonna say more oaky, like woody.
Yeah, I get oak as well. It's on all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the ex-bourbon cask.
That's the bourbon
Yes.
cask. I think you're
Yep.
getting the bourbon for sure.
Hmm.
It's a little sharp on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, sharp,
Yeah, a
but
little
like
spicy.
a sweet sharp. Not
Mhm.
yeah. I don't get like the too much of it, like the metallic ting that I normally get. But
Now the finish should be long and warming with hints of drying spices, figs, coffee, and oak. So there's your oak,
Yeah.
Mac.
all right,
Ah.
need a little bit of water.
One reviewer suggested that this was a good option for
Didn't work.
people who are just getting started. It's not as complex as the higher end Dalmores, but
It's
For
a
the good
medium end
all-around
Dalmore.
flavor.
It's not
Yeah.
like crazy expensive. I think this is like $84
Mhm.
or whatever. It's available apparently exclusively at one store in the U.S. Wine and Spirits or wait, no, what's the one? What is it? The one in
Total
Delaware.
Wine is what you
Total
said.
Wine.
Total Wine.
Yeah. Total Wine down to Delaware. So this is like that's the only place apparently you can get it.
That's
So,
their.
Yes.
They've got the monopoly on it.
Yeah. So I added a little bit of water. Let me see how the water wakes it up or not.
Roderick McLeod is suggesting that in tasting parlance, you may be wanting to try the term dark fruit.
Dark fruit, not red fruit.
Not red fruits this time, or green
Yes,
fruits.
Or green fruits.
I think, yeah. I understand where that comes from because it reminds me of the flavors you get like from
Like a pomegranate or something.
no, like preserved fruits, like dried fruits, like you'd use in a pudding or a fruit cake or something like that. You know, it's kind of
Okay.
Something you need to add a little something to.
that's my take on it at least.
Yeah.
But
Okay. I don't know. We're novices.
a bit more tannic would
Yeah.
be what I would think that means. But
Okay. All right. So, how do we feel about this? Let's rate this beast 1 to 10. Eric, how you feeling about the Dalmore?
I kind of like it. It's not bad. I would give it a 5.7.
Okay. Okay.
It's not
Mac.
super impressive, but it's not hard to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac.
I was kind of leaning towards the middle of the road, like like a 5.9.
Okay. The other Dalmores that I've had, the cigar malt I rated very highly. The regular 15 Dalmore rate very highly. This, I don't like it nearly as much. So I'm not going to go quite as low as you two, but I'm going to say this is probably a 6.2 for me compared to like the cigar malt, which is well up into the 8s, and the regular Dalmore, which is high 7s, low 8s, I think. So, yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. But not my favorite Dalmore. There are better versions of the Dalmore.
So how many Dalmores have we had on the show?
3 now, I think. Isn't the third?
So we could do a whole Dalmore show.
It's gonna be a hell of a show. All right, boys and girls, thank you for joining us. As always, we are here, but your humble servants, ready to answer whatever kilt and/or culture-related questions you have. So load them in the comments. While we're waiting for that, Mac, why don't you read us the first preloaded one?
All right, we have our first question here coming from a local-ish fellow, Mr. David Barr.
Read the...
And he's from Facebook.
From Facebook, yes.
I mean, this could have been a Thursday when he was here, too. But,
That's fair.
But
He's from downstairs.
yeah. He said, firstly, I think you guys need to up your game and dress up a bit for this one.
You're welcome, David.
Jeez.
It is the holidays, you know. But the pertinent question, bow ties with a kilt and tweeds, yay or nay, and why?
Bow ties with a kilt and or tweeds.
Yes.
Tweeds as in suit, do we think? Or tweeds as in like tweed jacket and vest with kilt? He didn't specify.
Yes, but I could see him going either direction on that, though, too.
Yeah. Like a full Peaky Blinders
Yeah.
type thing. Right. With a... I'll put it this way. To me, bow ties are a thing that you have to have a certain personality to pull off. Bow ties kind of fit in their own little thing. Not everyone agrees with that, but that's my take on it. They're definitely a statement, and they're not for me. I'm not a bow tie type guy. Frankly, I'm not even really much of a tie type guy. But I think bow ties with a tweed jacket and vest can be very smart. I wouldn't necessarily match the bow tie tweed, or if the bow tie is tweed, to the tweed that's in the jacket and vest. Bow tie with a kilt, sure, it can be done. Again, it's one of those where some people would call it underappreciated because not a lot of people do it. But to me, it's a very niche thing. So not my thing, but yes, it can be done. Mac.
I mean, I'm not opposed to a bow tie. I'd rather do one, if I was going to do one, and I've thought about doing a bow tie at times, but I'd want one that you actually tie yourself, not just the little clamp behind ones.
That presupposes that I can tie a bow tie as well.
This is true. But I think having it with tweed, I think makes, in my mind, I think it makes a little bit better sense because your outfit's already different as it is, and now you're adding a splash of color or a splash of design or however with that bow tie then.
Now, would you do if you're just wearing a tweed suit? You know, it's pants day today at USA Kilts apparently. So if you're wearing a tweed suit, not a kilt, just a tweed suit, a la Peaky Blinders type vibe, or Downton Abbey or something like that. Would you wear a bow tie in the same tweed as your jacket, vest, pants, or waistcoat and pants, or would it be a different bow tie? Would you do like a paisley one or something a little over the top and crazy? Would you do a tartan bow tie?
For me, I think I would do something a little different than the actual thing. Now, if your tweed has a window pane in it, then I think I'd pull color out of that window pane.
I agree. I like that idea. Okay. I would possibly, if I'm wearing like a Donegal tweed or a herringbone tweed, I might do a different tweed for the bow tie that complements the jacket and vest. It's not the exact same tweed necessarily. Although some people wear the exact same tweed. That's a thing as well.
Yeah, it's no different than some of us. Like we'll maybe have a tartan, and I'll use me an example for this. Like I have the county down, which I used to wear. I wear my gold hose with that. gold isn't in that tartan at all, but it blends.
Turns well with it.
Yeah.
I agree. Eric, do you have anything you want to add to this? You're nodding in agreement with Mac.
I'm just watching the comments roll by here.
Okay.
I'm not in favor of it personally. I think
Not
that
in favor of bow ties at all.
with tweed. I mean, it is de rigueur for formal wear.
Even if it's a tweed bow tie.
Kind of especially if it's a tweed bow tie. I think that's just a bit much. I don't personally like how the bow tie, because it's angular horizontally, affects the line of the look of the whole outfit. I want something that draws the eye vertically, and especially because, again, like we always say, the sporran is the center of the outfit. So I want simplicity here and not... Is that a bow tie? I want the attention to go to the sporran. So that's my personal feeling on it. I don't have a problem with other people doing it. It's just not how I would roll. It is, as some people are commenting on the chat, it is absolutely a necessity for semi-formal to formal occasions, especially with certain things like a Prince Charlie coatee or black argyle.
Yes. David was talking about with tweeds and stuff, so that's kind of where we went with
Just making
it.
sure people know
Now-
we are aware of the...
Yep. If you
difference.
were if you were wearing a suit, tweed suit, would you be opposed to a tweed bow tie or something non-satiny?
If it were a suit, I'd have no problem with it, but I would definitely be in like a fogey jazz age kind of frame of mind if I was doing that.
Right.
That's just how I'd roll. I'd be there with my fedora and everything.
Okay. Very good. Hope that helps. All right, Eric, who do we have out there on the interwebs?
We have a lot of people here, and first question I have up for you is you're gonna love this one. When and why did buckle brogues become associated with kilt wear?
When and why?
When and why?
Is there a why?
Yes.
For every why, there's a wherefore.
Yes, the devil decided that
bar.
it was a good thing to do. I honestly don't know. I think it was just kind of, buckle brogues were a style of shoe way back when, and it just kind of had the holdover, and it was, one of the styles of shoes. They were a formal style of shoe, so people wore them, obviously, with their kilts, which are, back then were more formal as well, like Victorian times kind of thing.
I'm
You have any
wondering.
thoughts?
I'm just wondering, thinking to 1700s, and where you have a buckle that closes your shoes. I would assume it just kind of spawned from that and just stuck around, echoing what you just said. But has when I'd be curious to find out now. When did it phase in and phase out? Is it in that whole entire time, or is it a later thing that is a nod back?
I don't think it's phased out because it still exists. Popularity-wise, it's definitely a lot more phased out, as it should be. Eric, you're more the history guy, evolution of stuff guy. Do you have any thoughts on buckle brogues and...
I think Max got it right, basically. Buckle brogues are primarily an 18th century fashion item. They survived through the Regency. So I think that because we like to hold on to old stuff and survivals as part of our, hey, we used to be rustic kind of vibe with Highland dress, that they stuck around as a formal option because people thought they looked different and cool and intentionally old-timey.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's basically the whole thing. It's just like ghillie brogues, which came along much later, but the whole idea is that they're supposed to be emblematic of bog shoes.
Yep.
Of brogued shoes that you'd use for, with the laces so you don't lose your shoes in the mud.
Yep.
I think it's the same kind of vibe, just we're talking formal.
Right. Okay. I agree. Very good. Mr. Mack.
All right. So we have Don from YouTube here. Well, he's not here, but he sent us a message from YouTube. It says, have you ever designed a tartan specifically to...
Or ever pleated a kilt that way?
Cool effect after.
So, if I ever designed a tartan to be pleated this stripe, yes. So that there's a pop of color, no. Basically, because most of the time when you're pleating a kilt, or when you're designing a tartan or pleating a kilt, you're, back me up on your thoughts on this. A kilt pleated to the stripe. The way that I choose if a kilt should be pleated to the stripe or could be pleated to the stripe is I'll take the tartan pattern and I'll kind of squint at it. And if something, an individual element, jumps out, then yeah, it would look great pleated to that stripe. If nothing jumps out and it's kind of all coming out at the same level of contrast, then I usually pleat it to the set. So for what I have on here, the red stripe kind of jumps out a little bit, so it's a little bit wide of a section. So, but I might pleat it to that red stripe, or on Mac's kilt, the yellow stripe jumps out. So pleating it to the yellow stripe in the brown would look good. The problem is, most times when you want to pleat to a stripe, you want to have a half inch on either side of the stripe of nothing, so that the stripe really stands out. And the effect that they're talking about is having a really bold, high contrast color that just gets hidden in underneath the next pleat. So that way when the person walks and the pleats move and it opens up a little bit, then you see that pop of color. Typically, not a lot of tartans have that in the design already, with a bold contrast stripe, a field of nothing, and then all of a sudden a real high contrast. Can you think of any?
Not like the one that came to my mind originally in this process was the Earthrise, because that's a hard sharp change, but I don't know if it necessarily fits into this category.
Yeah. Because then you end up with, if you pleat it to the block of nothing, like that black or gray block, you end up with lawn chair effect across the back, the horizontal stripes.
And I think it's a little bit harder in some ways to necessarily design something, because what happens is a 5-yarder versus an 8-yarder. Because not always can you do the same thing with the other one. So just because you can do it this way, you might not be able to do that at all on the other one.
Right. The only tartan that came to mind that it might be able to work would be Black Stewart. Like the one that just popped into my mind would be Black Stewart. If you pleat it to, let's say, the far yellow and white stripe, and then when you open up the pleats, that red center section with the white stripe in the center, that kind of jumps out. That might be able to work. But outside of that, I couldn't think of any. Now there are plenty of tartans that have a hard contrast. If you think of like Wallace, it's red and black. If you pleat it to the black section or something, one of the red stripes in the black section, and then no, I guess the black stripe is in the red section, then the yellow is in the black.
Yes.
Yeah. If you pleat it to the black bar, just so that the red gets covered up, it would open up, and when you walk, you'd get that flash of red. But you'd have the black bar section across the back, so it'd be like horizontal stripes. We're getting into the weeds here.
I think a lot of this though would actually work better in a box pleat versus a normal knife pleat situation.
Yep, I agree 100%. So a box pleat, you end up with wider pleats, and the other main element. So again, using Wallace for a second here, if you pleated it to the yellow stripe in the black section, on every single pleat, each pleat's going to be about 2 inches wide. Underneath those two pleats, you're going to have a bright red flash when those open up. So that's a very good point. It's a lot easier to have that effect on box pleated kilts because of the balance of it.
And there may or may not be a tartan coming out soon that would work perfect for that scenario.
Maybe January?
Maybe, I think
Maybe
so.
January? So definitely not America 250 as the tartan. No. Okay. Good point. I wasn't thinking about that. This wasn't meant to be product placement, but yes. Okay. Very good. All right.
That was us.
That was you. Yes. Eric.
Huh?
Indeed.
Indeed. Just an FYI for you guys and the audience as well. One of our systems here is in need of a driver update, so we are going to have to deal with some of the audio issues we're having for the remainder of the day.
Excellent.
It's either that or we completely stop the show and try to come back. I don't think anybody wants to do that.
Nope.
Okay.
So, Eric, why don't you tell me who's out there now?
So, Shawnee Rotten, our friend who is on Twitch watching us, by the way, said, what is more of a fashion faux pas for a formal occasion? A Prince Charlie with studs removed or a Cullen jacket and vest in the landscape coloration? I feel the Prince Charlie studs feel a little too Hot Topic for me. Not knocking Hot Topic, I have my fair share of clothes from them.
Wait, read this. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what
Read
a
this again.
Cullen. I don't know what a Cullen jacket is.
Me neither. Does he mean collade jacket?
That was what I first thought, but I'm not sure. So we'll see if he pops in with some clarification. But
Okay.
he's wondering if you should just change up your jacket. Which is worse, a Prince Charlie with the studs removed, or a Cullen jacket and vest in the landscape coloration?
Pass. Next question. I have no idea what any of that means.
I think he's saying okay.
I think he's trying to communicate to us.
Blink if you need help.
Art Stuff with Tim says, cheers from Mississippi, by the way. This may have already been answered, but is yardage ever a consideration for waist size, i.e. are 5-yard kilts better for skinnier folks, or does it not matter?
Is yardage considered for waist size? Abso-friggin-lutely. When you place an order for a kilt, at least on our website, there's breakdowns for when you select the hip measurement. A lot of companies, including us, will charge different amounts or surcharges as you move up. It's because we're actually ordering more cloth. So when we have a 5-yard kilt on our website that starts a little bit under 5 yards if you're a really, really tiny guy, and it can actually go up to 6 or 7 yards if you're a really big guy. I'm not going to call it a 5, 6, or 4.5, 5, 6, 7 yard kilt because that will just confuse people as the model name. So we're just calling it 5-yard kilt, hard stop, and then on the back end, what we actually do is if your hips are 48, it's going to be closer to a 6-yard kilt than a 5-yard kilt. We're going to make it so that it fits you well. We have, we're giving the kilt makers enough cloth to actually make the kilt out of, so that the pleats don't have to be too wide, and they have a reasonable depth to them.
That's probably the biggest point there. Is if we have a lot less material to work with, we got to make those pleats over an inch, inch and a quarter, maybe inch and a half at times. So, yeah, trying to, as Shakira said, your hips don't lie. So you have to.
First Shakira reference potentially on the show.
That's right. But yeah, it's to keep the proportions right. We have to order that extra little bit of cloth.
Yeah, there way back when we first started. I remember making some kilts and ordering some kilts in from companies in Scotland. And one of the things that we ordered 4-yard casual kilts from one maker in Scotland. Name redacted. But I remember getting them in being like, wow, these pleats are too wide and they're too shallow. I do not like how this fits at all. I don't like how it hangs at all. Nope, we're just going to make our own 5-yard kilts, period. The problem to me, for that specific example to some degree, but the problem to me was it felt like they were just like, oh, fine, we'll make a casual kilt for you. It's still going to be X number of dollars, which is more than I thought it should have been, but we'll make it for you. Take this and go. And I always kind of approached it with, it's not the best thing that can be made for that amount of money. There should be more effort. It should still look almost as good as an 8-yard kilt, just sewn a little bit differently, just a little bit less fabric, cutting the fabric down to 4 yards and making it casual and cutting too many corners made it just a bit too sloppy and a bit too ill-fitting and not great looking. And I still wanted our customers, even if they're spending $300 or $400, to have that sense of pride. And yes, this was made for me. Yes, it still makes me look good. Yes, it feels good. Yes, it looks like a proper kilt. And I think when you cut too many corners, you kind of cut some of that stuff out. So yeah, I think 5 yards is about the minimum, unless you're like tiny, about the minimum that I would go for a kilt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's those people who are twigs. I am not. But yeah, trying to jam any more than that in there is going to get fun.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, ultimately to answer the question directly, yes, if you are a bigger guy, yes, you actually get more than 5 yards of kilt or 5 yards of fabric in your 5-yard kilt. We already account for that. We don't tell people about it. We don't brag about it. It's just one of those things that we automatically do because we want the kilt to look and fit as good as it can, period. So, cheers. Was that Eric? Mac?
That was. Alrighty. We have Andy McMillan Moore from Facebook. What are your thoughts on the best Christmas tartan and or New Year's?
Best Christmas and or New Year's tartan.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll bring Eric in for this one as well. Let's do this. Let's say that we're not doing Royal Stewart. Hard stop. No one's allowed to do Royal Stewart. I'm going to put a limitation on this. So best Christmas themed, holiday themed tartan.
Christmas and New Year's, or just holiday themed in general?
Well, do we want to do a Christmas one?
Let's do
and
both.
a New Year's one.
Let's do both.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Eric, we'll start with Christmas. Do you have any particular?
So you're asking the non-Christian about Christmas.
Yes.
Good move.
Holiday.
Holiday.
There
I
you
think
go.
the one obvious answer, but I'm not sure if everybody's allowed to wear it, would be Santa's Toy Shop tartan, which is the official tartan of Clan
Okay.
Claus.
Okay.
Intentionally designed to have that Christmas vibe to it.
Okay.
So
you're going on the nose with Christmas themed about the
Why
Christmas
not?
thing.
Why
Fair.
not?
Fair. All right.
I'll also put in a shout out for St. Andrews or
Okay.
Davidson for a tartan for
Jewish holiday.
Hanukkah.
There you go. All right. Very nice. Mac.
See, I was going to go with the other obvious answer I thought, and this would be Stuart dress. I was going to go that way, but I
Because
think
the white. Yep.
But I think Stuart Butte
Okay.
is where I would go next.
Okay. You're just stuck on the damn Stewards.
Well,
Well, why
I
not?
am one.
Yeah, likewise. Wait, we're all a little bit
And
Stewart,
I'm
aren't we?
related to a Stewart. Yes.
Wah,
indeed.
wah.
Okay. So you're going Stewart of Butte.
Stuart of Butte.
Okay. I'm gonna go as far as a Christmassy one. I'm gonna go non-Stewart.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Cur Red Muted.
That's my next one.
Specifically, I would like the muted because I
Yes.
think that there's too much bold, bright. I like your choice of Stewart of Butte because it's got that kind of claret, kind of like a maroonish red with the bottle green. With the Cur Red Muted, it's like a blood red, like similar to your sweater kind of thing, and a little bit olive green. I don't think we need to be as on the nose, bright, bold red for Christmas as we often are. So yeah, I'm gonna go.
You're not very jolly there, Rocky.
Indeed. So I'd say, yeah, I still like the muted colors. I think they're generally when it comes to red tartans, they're a little bit more palatable for most guys.
Yes.
Because it's not so bright, bold, in your face like Royal Stewart or Robertson or something like that. So a little bit tamped down, a little muted. That's good. All right, Eric, what are we doing for New Year's?
For New Year's,
Yes, we have a New Year's tartan. Of course, you were thinking about this the whole time Mac and I were talking.
I was paying attention to our constituents, Senator Rager. For New Year's, I would consider, you're gonna hate me for this, I would say something like Stuart Black because it makes me think of fireworks a little bit.
Okay.
I want something with a black base, or perhaps County Fair, even better. Because I'm thinking Hogmanay fireworks.
Yep.
Basically.
I got you.
Yeah.
Mac.
See, when I think of New Year's, I think of black and I think of gold. I think that's a lot of
A lot of New Year's parties are all
Yeah,
themed
they're
that way.
always usually that way. So spark is what came to my mind.
Here's me trying not to flip both of them off individually for taking literally both of my answers of Counties Fair and Spark. I gotta start going first. That's
That's
do
just
your
following
guys'
orders.
damn it. See, so Spark was going to be my answer from the bam. It literally is inspired by sparks, i.e. fireworks. If I couldn't pick Spark and I can't pick County Fair, what's another loud party atmosphere type tartan? I'm going to go Caledonia Ancient, or I could do Aberdeen, something with a lot of movement, a lot of bold colors. Something loud, Something, you know, that's, to me, New Year's is loud. It's not, it's not the post New Year, the old acquaintance. That's part of it as well. I'm in the drinking, partying earlier in the evening part. I'm in the fireworks part. That's where I'm at. So I'd say the louder ones like Aberdeen or Caledonia Ancient. Those are mine.
Sorry, our friend on YouTube, Tucharloon9130, suggested for Hogmanay, Loud McLeod, because if somebody spills or gets sick on it, you won't be upset. I was going to say Loud McLeod just because it's so festive.
That it's loud.
Yeah.
That's our fireworks. There you go.
Okay.
Indeed. Okay.
And as someone down in the shipping department is mentioned. Oh, it's Ian. Is mentioning it. Hi, Ian. Get back to work.
He's just jealous.
Mention that there is in fact an Auld Lang Syne tartan.
Hey, Ian. Want to try some
That's-
Dalmore? Can't
That's
have
where I
any.
thought he was going to go.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
Auld Lang Syne?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. See, I'm not a big fan of the Auld Lang Syne tartan. I don't think it's that great. It's a bit meh. Not that I love Aberdeen, for the record. But as a one-off festive event, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. What would you pick for New Year's? Not your clan tartan, but something that's in the spirit of New Year's. Let us know in the comments. All right, Eric.
So my friend Shawnee Rotten has a question about formal wear. He is not a fan of the bright square decorative buttons on a Prince Charlie.
Okay.
What we know is the Clan the Gale buttons. So he's asking, which would be a greater faux pas for a formal event? Would it be either to have a Prince Charlie and remove all of those buttons, so it's just plain black, or to wear something contemporary like a Wallace jacket?
For a formal event.
For a formal event.
Um,
He says he's had enough of shiny metallic stuff thanks to shopping at Hot Topic when he was a kid.
Understood. I would split the difference. There are some companies, and hey, Ian down in the warehouse, you're gonna love me for saying this, buddy. There are some companies that offer different button options for Prince Charlie's. Not many. Most I think who's the big with the royal warrant over in Scotland? Kinloch Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have their own not quite square, but diamond shaped with thistle, or there's some companies that offer different button options, and for the most part they have them as standard because that is their jacket to represent their brand. Some companies, including us, who can get things custom made, can have a couple different button options. So if you said I don't like this shiny chrome button, but I want antiqued buttons, or I want harp buttons, or I want black, matted, black square buttons. We could do that as a custom thing. Email Ian at usakilts.com. He would love to help you out with that. So that's kind of where I would probably go with it. I would still likely, if it's a formal event, I would likely wear a Prince Charlie or a Regulation Double A or something like that. But if I hate the chrome square buttons, I would just pick a different button. And if the company you buy your jacket from, or if you already have a Prince Charlie and you're like, I just hate this thing, I'm never going to wear it, then replace the buttons. That's kind of how I'd go at it.
I do like myself a Wallace jacket. I do like the Wallace jacket.
But it's more of a suit jacket.
Yeah, it's more of a
depends on what your level of formality is.
Yeah, like going to a business meeting,
Yeah.
type thing. But now I'm just trying to picture in my head a Prince Charlie with bone buttons.
Don't.
When you started talking about the different button options, I was like,
Okay,
that's
but
Stack.
Theo591 Theo591 on YouTube did ask, what about a PC with gold buttons?
It's been done. The Welsh jackets, Welsh PC jackets, have gold buttons. They do it to specifically be different than the Scottish PC jackets. Prince Charlie for PC. If the other accessories in the outfit, i.e. the kilt pin or the sporn, the cantle and the sporn, that kind of stuff, are gold as well, then okay, fine, have at it. It's your thing. Be a little bit different. I'm not a gold guy. I'm definitely a silver guy. So,
yeah, it's I agree with you on that. On definitely being more silver or antiqued metal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gold, I definitely want other gold aspects somewhere else to tie it
Pull
together.
together. Yeah.
With your spark tartan for
Exactly.
New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
There you go.
Now, are they like spinners? You're like, brrr.
Ideally, yes.
Fidget spinners,
Yes.
Bzzz, including the bow ties.
Yeah.
We have another suggestion for what about like antique brass? Could be kind of cool. Personally,
Sure.
I would stick with like gloss black. I would go with the black.
Yeah.
I think that just so you get a little bit, it catches the light, but it's not in your face either.
Yeah. When it comes to varying metals, I'm going to point this out. I am not a fan of really mixing a ton or having too many different types or colors of metal or temperatures of metal, if you will. So for the guy who said antique brass, okay, cool. But do you have an antique brass cantle? Do you have an antique brass kilt pin? Are the buckles on your kilt antique brass? If all of the things are antique brass, being the matchy guy, look at me, I'm freaking matchy as hell today.
Yeah.
If everything metal on your outfit is antique brass, sure, have at it. If it's only the buttons on the jacket and it's a chrome cantle cantle on the sporran and it's a antiqued kilt pin or a chocolate bronze kilt pin, then I don't love it as much. Black for the buttons you can kind of get away with if it's a chrome cantle and black buttons on the PC. I think you're fine.
Is there anybody out there that offers the antique brass other accessories? Because that's where you're going to start running
I
into.
don't think so. Not that I've seen. No.
Yeah, if you're trying to go for that uniform look, that matchy look, are
Yeah.
you going to struggle to find other things that tie in with it?
Yes. Are you going to struggle? Yes. Might you find something? Sure. Are you going to struggle? Yes. So while we're on the topic of formal, here's my question to you. This isn't the question of the day, but I do have a question for you. How do you feel? And this is questioning because of we're going to be offering, or we are offering it. It's actually live on the website right now as a product. How do you feel about tartan suit? Whether it's not necessarily formal, but semi-formal, dressy kind of events. How would you feel about a tartan suit? Tartan jacket and vest, tartan pants, the whole nine, tartan tie or not. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it. I'm very curious what your guys' feedback is on this ensemble. Am I much, or am I giving just the right amount of? Eric has his hand up, so I'm gonna.
I'm gonna say you've already gotten a lot of love for the suit. We do have one question.
Sure.
From Dr. Dave Hamilton? What is the tartan?
This tartan
Yes.
is the Lochcarron Hunting. Lochcarron is the name of the tartan, not just the mill. It's also made by Lochcarron, but it's the Lochcarron Hunting Modern Tartan. I specifically picked this one because I wanted to pick an 11-ounce cloth, and I like Lochcarron's 11-ounce, their Reaver fabrics, and I like this one because it is subtle enough with enough interest. It's not like Loud McLeod over the top, but it's not Black Watch, everyone and their mama has it, and it's boring. So it's got enough of something going on, but not too much. That's kind of what drew me to it. So, yes, but keep letting us know in the comments how you feel about it. All right, Mac.
Alrighty. We have Steve Sanders from YouTube. Are you excited for Scotland to be in the World Cup in 2026? Are you going to try to get any to any of the matches in the U.S.?
Are ye?
Are ye?
Are ye?
Will ye go? Will you go, Lassie, go to the Scotland matches? I don't know. So, it was actually, today is December 5th. It was actually just announced as literally, I was watching it live on my computer. Were you watching it live, or did you just find out after the fact?
I was busy running around giving orders over in production before I came over here, so
Fair.
I looked at it afterwards. All the
Fair.
announcements have been made.
Yes, they just did the announcements on who's going to be playing where and what round or whatever. I do not follow World Cup. It confuses the heck out of me. But I did watch the live announcements, so I know Scotland is in Group
C.
and they're going to be playing either in Jersey or something, and then round 2 might be Philadelphia, might be Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
So I might try to go. It's one of those, once for me it would probably be a once in a lifetime type event where I'm not going to go to a ton of these. I'm not a huge soccer fan. Played soccer as a child, liked it. I watch it now and again. but it's not my top sport. That's hockey. However, I am excited about to see it. I am excited for the Tartan Army to invade the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how the U.S. reacts to the Tartan Army. Mac,
I mean, they're going. It could either be, like you said, Jersey or Boston. So Boston would be a great fit for them there.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That could cause an interesting.
well, it's Boston, Philadelphia, New York, like
Oh, yeah.
Scots, all in this whole
Mhm.
region. Yeah,
I mean, Philly too. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
bad things happen in Philadelphia could just as easily be bad things happen in Glasgow.
That's fair. There you go.
Yeah,
We're of a mind.
It will be interesting to see how it all plays out, but
Do you mean Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or Bad Things Happen in Philadelphia?
Bad things happen in Philadelphia.
What's that? I don't get
You've
the
never heard
reference.
the expression "bad things happen in Philadelphia"?
No.
You've been living in the burbs too long.
I'm sorry. I hereby give back my cheesesteak card.
you're hanging on the Wawa card.
I'm never giving up the Wawa card. Wawa transcends the Philadelphia region, for the record. Okay. So, would you go? Would you pay for it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Again, I'm not. I watch cars go in circles, so
A lot of laps.
that's my thing, and there's too much running in soccer.
Luckily, you don't have to
I
participate.
know,
They're not drafting you.
but to go to a live sporting event, I don't mind going to live sporting events.
Yeah.
I've gone to see things that I typically don't watch and enjoyed it. So this again, as you said, the experience to go witness something like this would just for that alone would be amazing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm very very excited to see people train or descend upon not transcend descend upon the different cities and see what happens. Interesting.
Now, maybe this sways your opinion, but Love to Ticket on YouTube mentions the fact that from what they've seen, the prices are ridiculous, like $1,000 or more per ticket.
So, if it's at the Link in Philadelphia, I'm gonna go tailgate the hell out of it. I'm gonna go party with the Tartan Army. When they go in, I will go home. I'm not paying $1,000. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't care. Because I'd have to get at least for me and Liam. Kelly would probably want to go. I'm not spending $3,000 on tickets. No. Eagles games are already too expensive. Much
Yeah.
less. Yeah. Okay. Nope. But I will go party like a rock star with Tartan Army. That's actually what I want to do. Is party with them. Yes. All right. That is the question of the day, though. Is how do you feel about it? There's almost a graphic for that. There we go. How excited are you for Scotland in the World Cup, and are you going to go see them if or when they are in the States at a city maybe near you or maybe not near you? I'm very curious about it. So let me know. All right. Eric, that was Mac.
Yeah, I have several questions here, but this one actually just came in, and I want to do it because we were talking about sports.
This just in.
Noah the Brown asked us if any of us have a favorite NFL team, and I'm going to tack on to that. If you do, what tartan would you give them?
Do you have a favorite NFL team?
Yeah, who's your favorite team? Let's imagine it's not the Eagles, for the sake of argument. I mean, only one of us can choose the Eagles.
See,
Let's
if
make
it was
that way.
if it was hockey, I have a girlfriend team. Like you have your main team. You have the team that's your ride or die. That's the team that you love, and then you have your girlfriend team. It's the team that you're like, if your team is not playing them, you're rooting for them. So, let's just go sports teams in general because I don't have a girlfriend team for football.
See, I kind of do because my dad cheered for the Seahawks.
Okay.
So
Damn
Okay.
it, Mac.
I can go that route.
Okay.
Is that who you're going to choose? The Seahawks? I don't know. Let's see what your answer is. Mine might be completely different.
I was going to say Alaska State Seal, actually.
Okay.
Alaska State Steel for the Seahawks.
For the Seahawks.
Got it.
Just
Okay.
the colors and the white stripe would work.
Okay.
See, I was going to go Giants Causeway.
Got it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that answer.
also good.
I like that answer. What would my girlfriend team be for football? For the record, we are in Philadelphia region. All of us are Eagles fans. Eric's not much of a sports guy, but he would, I'm assuming, cheer for the Eagles if they were on under penalty of death.
Totally.
So, all right, what other team?
I mean, you can always go for the Chiefs. Because Kelsey's brother's over there.
Yeah, I honestly, I kind of would. Potentially, I don't really like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs for the fact that we kicked the crap out of them last year in the Super Bowl.
Ouch.
So that alone makes me love the Chiefs that much more. And Jason Kelsey is a freaking. He himself is going to go down in Philadelphia history.
Yeah.
Forever. He's going to be like the mayor of Philadelphia at some point. Watch mine. Mark my words.
Watch the space.
Yes. So, I like the Kelsey brothers for that. So, sure, I'll go the Chiefs. And what tartan would I wear for the Chiefs? Wallace Red, McQueen, something along those lines.
McMillan dress.
Yeah, McMillan dress. I'm kind of phoning in on the answers there, but I don't really love them. All right, so hockey. I'm going to go to my other sport. 'Cause I like football, but I just like the Eagles. I don't like anybody else. What would be your hockey girlfriend team if it can't be the Flyers?
So I would probably revert back to the team that I used to follow, which would be the Sabres.
Okay. I didn't know you were a Sabres guy before Flyers.
Marty Biron was up there.
Got it.
Briere was up there.
Okay.
So I was a Sabres fan.
Okay.
The question is, do I go for the Sabres colors that were then when I was watching, which were the black, the red, the silver, or do I go with like their
The blue.
the
and
blue
whatever,
and the yellow? Like I'd almost go Spirit of Glendor
Okay.
for that.
Okay. Very good. I would say my hockey girlfriend teams. I kind of have two. I'm a whore. So my hockey
Let the
girlfriend
record
teams.
state that Robbie is.
Hockey girlfriend teams are two. Well, first one was and still kind of is Boston because I love the city of Boston. I love the vibe of the city is very very similar to Philadelphia. It's a very gritty working class kind of city. Says the guy dressed posh as hell. But
Right?
I love Boston. Can't stand Marchand, but I did like Boston. So that was girlfriend team A. Barclay dress. Boom. There you go. Done. The other girlfriend team would be. Dang it. Nashville Predators. Yes. Simply because
Their
of the
chant?
fans. Of the chant, yes. If you've never heard the mocking of the goaltender chant that the Nashville Predators have, the fans have for the goalie on the team, it is a thing of beauty. It is trolling to a degree that I envy as a Philadelphia fan.
That's saying a lot.
Yes, that is saying a lot. Absolutely. It's basically, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. You suck. That is the chant, and I'm not even joking. We're gonna have to insert at least a clip of
I
it
hate to
here.
tell you guys, but you're getting a lot of Penguins fans here, and I'm gonna Lon McLeod for Penguins. I was gonna suggest Spark for Penguins.
Yeah,
Or
I did.
Boston.
Or Boston. Yeah, I did inadvertently make the most Pittsburgh tartan ever win Spark because
Yes.
everyone in their teams are black and gold. So yes, I'm sorry, you're Penguins fans. You're all horrible people. I hate
Well,
Penguins.
and obviously we're all gonna choose the Warrior tartan for East Kingdom, right?
For East Kingdom, of course.
Yeah.
That's
Why not?
my
Yeah.
favorite team.
I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and see how many people in the SCA actually responded.
Indeed. Okay. All right. Enough sports talk.
Enough of this witty banter.
Yes. All right. That was you,
That was me.
Eric.
No, I asked you about NFL teams,
Oh, got it.
which became
That
hockey, so
was
it's Max.
that was him.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, we
You
knew
must have
that.
misheard me.
I knew you knew that.
All right.
Oh no! Before we do that, unless it's a short question, I can't read because
Kind of.
Okay, ask it.
All right, we have Bone Drone 9869 from YouTube asking what styles of winter coats would pair well with a kilt. Could a long peak coat work?
Could a long peacoat work? 100%. Yes. Peacoats work with freaking everything. I'd say not like a super long trench coaty kind of peacoat, but a regular length peacoat, which is a little bit longer than the sleeves. Absolutely works. It's a classic style. I literally just bought one for Liam. I have a peacoat. Love peacoats. Mac,
I was thinking like a Mackinaw, which is more of the army version of a peacoat, or even like a bomber jacket, which you wear quite a bit with.
Yep. For winter, yes, bomber jacket, great. I wear for actual winter, like winter weather, and not dressy-ish. I wear snowboarding jackets a lot when I'm wearing a kilt, mainly because most snowboard jackets have the zipper that goes up on the bottom or down on the top, so you can actually zip up a little bit. So when you're wearing a kilt, you have a sporran on, it's a little bit more bulk around your midsection. I pull the bottom zipper up a touch, so when I'm sitting down, it actually spreads out a little bit better. So, but I like wearing snowboard types jackets for winter as well. I tend not to go too long. So a trench coat or something that's going to go down to the knee makes you look like a flasher.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You're not going to be able to avoid it.
Yeah.
You can't go around small children or schools. So I'd say avoid jackets that are too long. Anything below mid-thigh is about where I stop for winter jackets myself when I'm wearing a kilt anyway. So, yeah. Anything else to add to that?
No, I would say I used to have a more modern Ike jacket that was a little bit thicker, thicker wool that I would wear with mine. Again, I like them to hit about right around the belt line.
Yep. Harrington jackets look great with a kilt. Ike jackets look great with a kilt. Anything that's a little bit shorter or about when you put your arms down, any jacket that is the bottom of the jacket is at the level of the bottom of the sleeves or even a little bit higher will look better with a kilt. If the jacket body is lower than the bottom of the sleeves, then your mileage may vary depending on how long it is and how warm you really need to be. But that's kind of my general rule of thumb for it. Very good. Hope that helps. All right, we are at the midpoint of the show, so let's hear about a wonderful young man who likes to wear his kilt.
Hey guys, our kilt ambassador today is the one and only Ian Ripke from Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is a man whose love of history, fantasy, and Scottish culture has shaped some of the most memorable parts of his life. Ian's fascination with the past started all the way back in grade school. Movies like Highlander and Braveheart, plus growing up near the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, planted the seeds very early. Ian's personal kilt journey began in college during a visit to Scotland, where he picked up his first great kilt and the accessories to go with. But the real spark came from digging into his genealogy. He says, "I found out that on my paternal grandmother's side, we were MacLeod, and that just drove me deeper into the frenzy." Ian's research uncovered connections not only to the MacLeods, but also to the Mackenzies, the MacDonalds, and the Campbells. And that connection to lineage became the heart of his kilt passion. As Ian puts it, "For me, this was a way to connect with that part of my heritage, even though I was born well past its journey to the shores of North America." Once he had that sense of identity, everything just clicked for Ian. He started attending events like the Celtic Classic up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and instantly found his tribe. People who shared his love of Celtic culture, story, and tradition. And one of our favorite parts of Ian's story is how he found us, USA Kilts. It wasn't online browsing, it was actually a tip from another one of our kilt ambassadors, David Nyer, who also just happens to have been Ian's friend since the 8th grade. David let him know that the best kilt shop in America was practically in Ian's backyard. So since then, Ian's collection has become something truly special. He still has his original gray kilt, plus he has another in Appalachian folklore tartan from us. He has 8 casual kilts from us, and 4 full 8-yard wool kilts from us, and we're incredibly honored by all that. Ian loves the versatility and timelessness of the kilt. He views it as a garment that can effortlessly span 6 centuries, just depending on how you style it. But hey, I don't have to tell you what Ian thinks about kilts because, as it happens, we caught him on video.
It depends on what you want to do. If you want to get into it from the sense of doing something more historical, reenactment, Renaissance fair, you're in a comfortable place, right? You can always just get a simple casual PV kilt and just get started. For people that want to get into something like as wearing it as an alternative daily dress, you got to just really be ready to kind of own that, because what's really neat about it is you're going to get a lot of questions, but they're all going to be really positive. A lot of people really are just curious. They want to know more. So do your homework, figure out what you're wearing, why you're wearing it, and jump in. Embrace your inner Highlander. Just accept that you're going to be different and accept all the awesome things that come with it.
Truer words were never spoken. So hey, if you would like to nominate a kilt ambassador, all you have to do is drop us a line at sales@usakilts.com. And you can hobnob with pretty much all of the ambassadors and a ton of other awesome folks on the Kilts and Culture Facebook group or on our Kilts and Culture subreddit.
Yeah.
So here's to Mr. Ian Ripke. Very good. Local guy, very nice guy. Eric.
Yeah, I was just say thanks for taking the time to answer my questions, Ian.
Yeah.
Ian's a nerd after my own heart, basically. I mean, I fell in love with dressing up in stupid costumes when I was a little kid, too. And then parlaying that into just enjoying the aesthetics as an adult is just a lot of fun. Life's too short not to have fun, you know? And so he's doing a lot. So I used to do a haunted house with my family also, you know, and the Ren Fair. I was in the SCA, so Ren Fair wasn't so much a thing for me. But yeah, I totally get the vibe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Indeed. Good guy. All right, who was the last one? Was that you or
We
was
had
it?
the jackets.
That was you? All right, Eric, what do we got out there?
Moi? Okay. Excuse me while I whip this question out.
Hey now.
So our good friend Stray Cat 1674, asks, with the 250th anniversary of the United States coming up, how would one go about submitting a tartan as the official tartan for that anniversary? I was under the impression that there might be one. Never mind our efforts, but
I don't think there is.
okay. So
how would one go about it? You'd have to have some kind of government approval for said thing. So
Isn't there official? There's a website for.
there's a website.
There is a
for it,
website.
yeah.
Yeah.
not impressive.
Yeah, it's not that great of a website.
No, it's not.
Unless they're watching this video clip, in which case that is the best website ever, and I have a great tartan that you should consider for the official tartan of America 250. Ching-ching. That was it. Bling bling, not really cha-ching, although cha-ching as well if they end up going it. So, the way that the tartan register works now, assuming that you're going to have it registered, is that they need official approval from the correct governing body. And I'm going to keep doing air quotes for all the words in this sentence. So I would hazard a guess that either the America 250 committee or the president or Congress or the Congress president, the Supreme Court, as well as the Senate. Yeah, everybody has to sign off on it. Or they're going to say that every single person in the U.S. has to sign off that it's official. So I'm not sure. It would take either a Herculean effort to get it to be official, unless either A, you know somebody, or B, somebody approached you to say, hey, from their committee to say like, hey, we want a tartan designed for the America 250 celebration. We'd like you to design it and then register it. So yeah, slim chance is my gut.
Wouldn't it be almost at this point too late potentially for?
That's what I was thinking.
Because I mean, there's already been stuff started this past year. There's been things.
There's certain things were started a year ago, Mac. Year and a half
Oh,
ago.
I know.
2
but
years ago, even you might even say.
But I'm even saying, like, as far as like the celebrations of Lexington Concord,
Yeah.
already doing their Battle Road was this past year, with their big 250 event, and now we're going to start rolling through more of that stuff here very, very quickly. But that's what my concern to be. It'd be too late.
Yeah.
Stray Cat was wondering if we would have something ready to submit if it was a possibility.
Yes, January 1st.
Watch this
We actually
space.
have it now. So yes, as part of our collection, the next tartan that's part of our collection, in which we gave the names of back in June, July of 2024.
That seems so long ago.
I know.
Oh.
It seems like so long ago, but like yesterday. That's when we actually started the whole thing. Was July of 2024 was our first release, and the last release is going to be July of 2026. Every 2 months, so it's 13 tartans. So the one that we have coming up next is the America 250 tartan, which is what we are calling it. And yeah, it's pretty American looking.
I'm actually really super excited about this one. I think it's I think it's my favorite out of the group so far.
Okay. Strong words. You heard it here
Wow,
from Mac.
very strong words.
It's not my favorite, but I like it more than I thought I was going to like it. When the cloth came in, I was just like, oh, okay. And here's my vote of confidence. I got an 8-yard kilt in it, not a 5-yard.
This is true.
And we are doing something a little bit different with it. Not that this is all about us, for the record. We're doing something a little bit different in that we are actually having it woven in blankets as a limited edition. We have either 28 or 30 lamb's wool blankets in this new tartan.
So we can stretch it out and watch the fireworks and
Yes, indeed. Cozy up on the couch
with a little picnic basket.
Exactly, picnic basket. Yes, indeed. So yeah, there's a lot of designs that could be good for it, and hopefully ours is in that consideration. Yeah. So here's looking forward to the 250th anniversary. There you go.
I'm looking at you, kid.
Indeed. All right, Mac.
Alrighty.
And if you know somebody in the government, please tell them. Ours absolutely would work as the official.
You got
We're gonna
people
be ready.
saying everybody should start writing their Congress people now.
Right, they're Congress people. Yes. They have nothing else to worry
Say
about.
they're not busy at all.
I got nothing else to go on. It's fine.
All right, so we have Kilt Advocate from Reddit. Yes, we are on Reddit.
Indeed.
Indeed.
What tartans?
Johnny on the spot right there.
What tartans are on each of your wish lists that you want to own, but have to get woven from scratch because it's not stock supported anywhere? This is his or theirs is the Holyrood Garden Jubilee and Rowdy Rowdy Piper's tartans.
Okay. So, what is the Fantasy Island tartan? The white whale, the one that eludes you. It would cost a lot of money. We just don't feel like spending money on it yet. Indeed. And Eric will bring you in for this as well. You don't have to answer right away. You can think. It could be Hello Kitty. It could be whatever you want. This is fantastical and not an actual answer.
And everybody's signing over and letting you.
Indeed, yes. There's no legalities involved in the answer. Mine was. I'm going first this time in case you steal it. Mine I actually already had done. The None of the Mills actually weave it as a stock supported tartan, so I had to get a custom run of it. And since I was being cheap and I didn't want to do it just for myself, I figured to get a whole bunch of people together, and that way it would help me keep my cost lower. So it was the Stewart Old Weathered tartan was the one that I did. And
I almost wore that today too.
Oh, there you go.
Almost, I had that one.
Yep,
out.
that was one. I love the Stewart Old tartan. I have it in the Wilson's Bannockburn colors. It's a very simple yet balanced, but just intricate enough as a design. That was actually for this kilt suit. That was my second choice tartan. If they didn't have enough cloth for the Lochcarron Hunting Ancient or Modern, I was going to go with the Stewart Old Wilson's Bannockburn colors. But yeah, Stewart Old Weathered. That's the one. That was my white whale, and I, like Ahab, speared it and got it. Did he get the whale? I forget. I don't know. Anyway, whale's dead. I got it.
It's dead, Jim.
It's dead, Jim.
I thought you were gonna go like Lagavulin or something.
Ooh.
That's where I thought you were gonna go.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Now I have a second one. Mac, you go.
I think mine's pretty obvious in this situation. The McDuck.
I knew you were going to say McDuck. Totally knew that's what you were going to do.
That's.
Okay. I thought you were going to go Stewart of Appin Red weathered or something like that.
If I was gonna want to do one of the Stewarts that's not out there, because there's not a few out there.
A couple.
Would be Stewart Black weathered.
Okay. How do you weather black?
Exactly.
Charcoal? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Well, House of Edgar does it in the Hebridean.
Yeah.
And it's not
it's about as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's not fully.
Okay.
That's just tapping the glass.
Okay. Okay.
It's not full cat whacking the glass off the table.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Ain't no cat whacking going on around here.
Whacking cats and killing whales. That's what we do over here, USA
No
Kilts.
cat whacking.
So, Eric, what is your...
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, you did mention Hello Kitty. I would love to have the Hello Kitty tartan, actually.
I figured as much.
Or even better, if there's a Hatsune Miku tartan, I would go for that one. You guys have no idea who that is, but
So he said a word.
Yeah.
it's a Japanese thing. Don't worry about it.
I love hot cinnamon too, Eric.
Yes, y'all are too old for that. There's actually a wolf tartan that I would like, because I'm a big fan of wolves and wolf conservation. I think it's called like Black Wolf or Timber Wolf or something like that. And I know it's not.
Okay.
I know it was registered, but was never been woven. It's one of those specialty things. It's like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
You know.
Okay, is that the black and gray with a yellow stripe in it?
It is.
Yep, I've seen
is.
it. It was on the...
Of course.
Yeah, it's on that website. I can't think of it. Curious and Unusual.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
I think I ran into it because somebody from one of the wolf conservation places I follow mentioned it. I was like,
Right.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I'm torn between wanting something that's just fun color-wise or something that actually represents something I care about. You know, because that gives you a chance to talk about it when you know, in conversation with someone who's like, oh, well, yes, did you know that wolves need your help? You know.
insert Sarah McLachlan singing.
Yeah, why not? Whatever.
Now, you said earlier the Lagavulin tartan, which was just registered recently. Not a big fan of it. It's okay. If I was going to do a whiskey tartan, it would be the Lafroig tartan.
That
one was designed years ago, and it's a little bit more my speed color palette wise. I like that one a little bit more. I have tried to get that one.
I thought you.
And to no avail. Yeah, it was. I think it was done by the Isla Woolen mill, and it was same mill that did like Braveheart and the Rob Roy tartans and stuff. The movie Braveheart tartan and the Rob Roy tartan. They did the Isla or the Lafroig tartan. So it's like a tweedy kind of thing. I would probably do it more in a standard kilt cloth, not necessarily tweed, but that could be cool as well. I don't know. Tweed one could be cool as well, especially for a whiskey.
We could just do a whiskey one or do one like the Tweedy and change maybe a line or two and
No, I'm not
call
going
it
to
something
infringe
else.
I'm not going to infringe on someone's copyright.
We don't
Thanks for the
play
idea,
those
Mac.
games, man.
Let's put that on. Hey, Mac, I have an idea. Let's talk about infringing on copyright and then
Sweet.
put it out there on the internet immediately. Let's make sure we record the conversation about infringing on copyright. This will never come back to bite us.
Nah.
We're fine. We're fine.
Or
It's
C4.
It's a completely original design, guys. Completely original.
All right. Was that you?
That was us.
All right, Eric.
Okay. Thomas McRenach, I think that's how you pronounce it. Please forgive me. Asked, what do you get someone for the holidays coming up who already has 70 plus kilts? How do you find something unique? In this case, it's for their granddad. What
Gift
do you-
certificates.
Come on, real answer, real answer.
Okay. This is the actual answer. Kilt hangers. If okay, let me put it this way. Here's what I'm going to preface it with. They have 70 plus kilts. Awesome. I'd love to meet the person. And turn them into a customer.
They may already be a customer, for all we know.
They may be a customer already, exactly. But I would say, you could get them accessories, but if they have that many kilts, they probably have a lot of accessories. So either new, different, cool type accessories. I would also realistically say kilt hangers. It's especially if you don't want to spend $1 billion on Grandpa. If you are on a limited budget, then I'd say kilt hangers are something the person could absolutely freaking use. And not that it's all about our products, but We do sell kilt hangers. We sell a lot of freaking kilt hangers. So you can get a 10-pack, you can get a 3-pack, you can get as many as you need, even up to 70. Mac, what would you get somebody who has 70 kilts? And that's a lot. That's more than I have. That's a lot of kilts.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking along those lines of an accessory of sorts, whether it be the hanger. That's I think spot on there. But do you have 70 kilt pins? Like, I know a company that just released some awesome new kilt pins out there that
They kind of remind me of that one you're wearing now, actually.
maybe
Oh, bam. Johnny on the spot there. We have too many assets on
Make
this
that
computer.
sparkle for us there,
yeah,
man.
there's
Let's take a look at
Ka-ching,
that.
ka-ching. Very pretty.
like that's kind of where I was thinking, like along those lines, like a belt. A belt, you're only really like most people only have one or
belts,
two.
Yeah.
But
Kilt pins are like Skittles. You just keep
yeah,
popping them.
because there might be an occasion where this one works a little
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Like that one, like this is my bumming around one. This one's kind of beat up, or all right, this one I'll keep a little bit more for a formal thing. But you can have fun with the kilt pins.
Here's a little bit outside the box answer, inspired by R.I.P. Good guy Hamish Bicknell. I design a tartan for him.
Interesting.
If you have that many kilts, if they haven't designed their own tartan already, I might design a tartan either with them or for them, and kind of do that. When Hamish Bicknell was a guy over in England, he used to be very, very active on X Marks the Scot, and when he was approaching his 100th kilt, yes, he had more than 100 kilts. He actually, it was a combined effort of me, Barb Tewksbury, and Robert Pell of our Kilts fame up in Canada conspired to design his centennial tartan. So we actually I designed the tartan for him and had it woven, I guess, a dog leash at the time. Robert supplied the straps, and Barb Tewksbury, supplied the labor on making the kilt for Hamish's 100th kilt. So that was pretty awesome to be able to have a big collaborative project like that. And I worked with Hamish in designing the tartan, with the colors that he wanted and that kind of thing. So it's meaningful, and it puts them, a little time memoriam, or it kind of gives them the stamp of this is the one for forever times. It's actually the registered tartan of their name. And if they feel that strongly about kilts and that strongly about tartan, that's something that could potentially mean a lot to them. So I'd say designing a tartan for them would be a pretty cool idea.
No, that's.
And
wait, there's more.
And hold on, I'm gonna hit all the waterworks here, all the emotional buttons. And if I'm gonna assume you say grandfather, so I'm assuming your grandson, granddaughter, designing the tartan with them is an emotional journey and an experience that you can share with them that will mean something to them, and when they are gone, it is going to mean something to you. So I would say absolutely sit down with them and say, look, this is the thing I want to do for you. For your, X birthday, is I want to design a tartan with you. I want to have a tartan design for you, and sit there and talk to them about their life story. Talk to them about, dates, or about colors, or about things that mean something to them that you can incorporate into the design. They were born in Glasgow, so maybe you base the design on the Glasgow tartan, or they were a big fan of the Flyers, so you're going to include the color orange in the design, just a little stripe as a nod to that particular thing. The more symbolism, the more story you can make out of this, the more it's going to mean something to them. And sitting there and kind of interviewing them and having that discussion is going to be the thing that is the actual gift, not just the design. So that's what I would say. There you go. All right. So hope that helps. Was that you or was that Eric?
That was mine.
Okay. Mr. Mack.
All right.
Mr. Mac.
So this one comes from Facebook from Matt Horn.
Okay.
All right. This is one that you'll probably hit pretty hard on.
Okay.
When were kilt fabric weights standardized? Surely there was no regulation back when the majority of fabric was homespun/woven. What did that come about once Wilson's and other large commercial mills were dominating the industry?
Okay. So, simplifying the question, how did tartan weights become standardized? So, for this, here's me, hand up, admitting that I used my phone a friend. I had my ideas, I had my thoughts, and wanted to make sure I wasn't going out into right field. So, I called my good buddy, Peter McDonald, and had a half hour. Like, this question could honestly be a full show in and of itself. I had a half hour discussion with him, rambling on about all kinds of different things. So, tartan, how did things get standardized? It really starts back with Wilson's of Bannockburn trying to create mass production out of a cottage industry, out of trying to herd cats of home weavers who lived around them, who helped them, mass produce tartans, all the way through to the current day. We could go down the path of technology and how that has helped to standardize things. You could talk about mass production. You could talk about customer-driven choices. You can talk about choices that mills are making. You could talk about the military. You could talk about the rental industry. All these things kind of have helped tartan evolve over time. So we're going to hit, try to kind of hit a few of them. So Wilson's of Bannockburn back in the early 1800s really were the first big mill to start pushing it forward and trying to. They actually were in existence through the prescriptions. So they were already making tartans. So when the tartan boom came in the 1820s, they were already there. They were already the top producer, and they were utilizing, local people, cottage. It's a cottage industry for a reason. It was literally people in their houses with looms, and they helped to standardize colors. They helped to standardize, the yarn that's being used. They helped to standardize the quality levels and that kind of thing. Spinning of yarn, goes back, according to when I talked to Peter, the actual commercial spinning of yarn goes pre-1800s and goes, before Wilson's. So the yarn itself wasn't necessarily, a thing that needed to be standardized. It kind of already was standardized. What type of sheep you're using, whether it's cheviot, what type of cloth is desired by customers. Originally, coarser cloth, on the heavier end, and or even like during Victorian times, merino and softer fabrics, a little bit lighter weight fabrics for more luxurious kind of feel. They kind of existed simultaneously. The coarser stuff more for the military, or the softer stuff for the aristocrats, for the upper classes that are the ones that are able to afford the nicer stuff. Then you talk about the finishing process and using worsted wool and actually having the cloth finished. You no longer had to get merino to have it softer. You can actually have the cloth finished. It's no longer in the grease, so to speak. It has a nicer hand to it, and that's starting in the 1930s-ish, which kind of overlapped with the coarser stuff that the military was still getting. Fast forward a little bit, or move forward in time a little bit, and you can talk about the rental industry really wanting to standardize on colors, because in the 1970s into the 80s, when the rental industry or the hire industry in Scotland really started to experience a boom, they have a fleet of Blackwatch kilts or Douglas modern kilts or whatever, and I want the greens to all match. So if I go to from mill A to mill B to mill C, all the colors are going to be pretty darn close. So they're trying to standardize on colors, and they're trying to standardize on weights. There's a little bit of an interesting story with weights of cloth, in that the mills going all the way back to Wilson's have had different weights of cloth. Wilson's used to do 16-ounce coarse, and then they did a super fine, they did a fine. They had like 3 different weights of cloth to kind of coincide with different things, and that kind of carries through today. Different horses for different courses. In the, let's say, 1980s, Loch Heron was kind of had a weird handshake agreement, gentleman's agreement kind of thing without it actually being spoken out loud. Alistair Buchan from Loch Heron and Blair McNaughton and his predecessors from McNaughton's or House of Edgar kind of stayed out of each other's ponds, so to speak, as two of the big mills. Loch Heron was really focused on 16-ounce cloth, and House of Edgar was really focused on 13-ounce cloth or medium weight. So they kind of stayed out of each other's way. Now, over time, like Wawa and Sheets, slowly coming into each other's territories, Loch Heron said, well, we're going to do some 13-ounce stuff as well. And House of Edgar said, well, then we're going to do some 16-ounce stuff. So there begins to be a little bit more overlap. So the mills have kind of had their own specialties, but kind of expanded over time. So that's kind of helped standardize and or ebb and flow with the market. When it comes to, different weights of cloth outside of 13 or 16, I'm reminded of House of Edgar's featherweight, which is an 8-ounce cloth that they used to do plain weave in tartan that they discontinued because just no one was buying it. The military stuff at 20 ounces, 21 ounces per yard, not many people buy it anymore. It's just easier to keep running the 16-ounce stuff, and the military at some point switched over to 16-ounce cloth. Mac, do you have any thoughts on the evolution of the standardizations?
I do like this. This is one topic that I was unsure of, and we talked about this before the show a little bit. But to listen to what you were saying and to go follow that path, it was interesting. Now I wish I could have a time machine and fly back and visit Wilson's, because I'm picturing like a cross between, like I'm picturing like looking in the door and it's like Rocky sitting in there with the way we get stuff in, and it's like, nope, that shades off. I want them to be this, and like making sure that no matter what you order, it's the same quality, the same color across the board. Or like McDonald's, where I can go here and here and here, and it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
But just to see how they were and how they functioned, and how a lot of the stuff that we're doing now is based off so much of what they did then. That would be really neat. It also explains why we see a ton of 13-ounce kilts, being ordered in House Edgar cloth, and a ton of 16-ounce coming from Loch Heron. It's still, even though they've crossed streams, we still see that pattern a lot. So I do find it very interesting how a lot of those things are still kind of similar, but yet changed a lot too.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't touch on as well, which I kind of in my back of my mind wanted to say as well, is the globalization of the market has changed things as well. So in Scotland, it's New England, kind of weather. So it is New England as in U.S. New England. It's cooler. It is not nearly as warm in Scotland as it is in Texas, Arizona, California, Florida. So when Americans or Australians or Germans or whoever outside of Scotland in warmer climates are buying material to make kilts out of, they don't necessarily want 16-ounce in the same way that it is prevalent in Scotland, because it is a warmer climate. So there's a lot more, I would venture to say, there's a lot more 13-ounce cloth in the U.S., especially the southern U.S. or the southern 80% of the U.S., and 16-ounce kilts in the northern states.
Now that makes me think, okay, so, and because I see, especially in military stuff, I do see some in different weights along the way, in different time periods, whether it be World War I or World War II. That's got me wondering now, okay, do troops that were sent to North Africa or wherever in there in the Middle East, are they being issued something maybe slightly lighter?
Doubtful.
But
my gut says
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's now I would say it's a good question now.
Yeah. It's a question we don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting. It is when I called. Here's the order of events. Is we got the question submitted, and it's a very simple, unassuming type question, but I'm like, this has a lot more arms and legs and rabbit holes than most questions do. Even though it's a very simple question, it was pretty broad. And I sent Peter an email last night before I went home, and I said, hey, if you're around tomorrow, I want to just kind of chat about this. And he was just like, oh, yes, absolutely. And when I talked to him, he was very excited. And we went rambling on in all kinds of different directions. It's neat to watch or to think about the way that it evolved and all the different factors at play and how they influence the evolution of the cloth of the kilt, not just, it's not just one single thing. It really is a whole lot of different things. And it's neat to kind of map it out and see where it, shoots off and where certain things kind of fall off a little bit and other things pick up.
It's like a weird domino trail. Like this one goes off this way and fades off, and this one goes off this way, and then connects these two, and they go off two different directions.
Yeah. And even coming back together at certain times too. Yeah. So it's a very neat question. Thank you very much. Hope that helped, kind of, in a way. So it's one of those where it's a very simple question with a super, super complex answer. So hopefully we did it this much justice. All right, Eric.
That's always the fun stuff, though.
Absolutely,
right?
though.
I mean, that's...
It just keep rabbit holing on this.
Yep.
This go all different directions.
Yep.
Here's one that we've covered before occasionally, but Hippie Don 94 on YouTube is saying, my wife has a lanolin wool allergy. Does that mean I'm pretty much just stuck with wearing PV?
My wife has an allergy.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to wear PV?
His wife has a lanolin/wool allergy, so do I have to wear PV?
If your wife has a problem,
I don't think you realize how intimate these folks are. I mean, they
actually dress. It's like they got the timeout big shirt where they both have to be in it together.
Hey, he's trying to be compassionate. I get it.
Understood. No, if you do not have an allergy yourself, then you don't have to worry about it unless she's literally like hand washing and rubbing your kilt on herself. I don't know the extreme nature of any particular allergy. It's not like a nut allergy where it's like, this bag was, this popcorn was, made in a facility that also processes nuts. Like it's not, I don't think any wool allergy is quite that bad. You're not going to go into anaphylactic shock by touching wool.
Yeah, I don't know the level of her
sensitivity.
Yeah. Like, is touching it going to cause a reaction? Mm-hmm. Whether they're holding hands and like it bumps like the edge of the kilt, or if she grabs his butt, like I don't know, like don't know the sensitivity of it. If it's that bad, then maybe I would lean a little bit for PV for when you're together. Mm-hmm. So, but if you're going if he's going to wear it places maybe they're not together, then maybe have one or two wool ones for those times.
Yeah.
But when you're together, maybe stick to PV.
Yeah. And lanolin is not like an airborne allergen that that you're going to smell it and she's going to start sneezing or going to break out in hives because she's in the same room, I would assume. Erica's
Hippie Don just said it's not severe by any means, but she does rash up after contacting it.
Okay.
So I would say that for most occasions,
99% of the time, you're going to be fine. Yeah. I'd say and this is not me trying to sound insensitive. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Buy one. Maybe if budget's an issue and you're concerned that you're not going to be able to get much use out of it, buy a used, X-Hire kilt on eBay and, wear it around once or twice and see if that's the issue. We had a customer who said he had a wool allergy. Tony Kramer, yes.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
And he had a wool sensitivity, but he's sensitive to certain types of wool, and he swore up and down, on a stack of Bibles, he was never going to be able to wear wool, and he had like 15 kilts from us. And eventually I said, Tony, you're not that allergic to wool. It's not nearly as bad as you think. His wife was telling him it's not that bad. He bought one of our a used kilt from us and wore it. And he's like, oh yeah, it's actually not bad at all. And if it gets bad, I just put on a pair of bike shorts. And then he had to replace all of his PV kilts with wool kilts. So it's even the people who have a wool allergy. There's levels of sensitivity, and there's ways to kind of hedge against it with bike shorts or nylons or whatever for if your wife wanted to wear wool. But if it's not the person wearing the wool who has the allergy, I honestly wouldn't worry about it. It's
not like
kind
poison
of you as a husband. It's kind of you to think of her allergy in the way that you dress. I get it. It's you're a very honorable man, very honorable husband. I wouldn't really worry about it. And again, buy a used one, wear it out once or twice, see if she has any annoyance. And if it's literally just her hand brushed up against it and she got a little tiny spot on the back of her hand for 15 minutes and then it went away, and you really like wool kilts, or the tartan you want is only available in a wool kilt, then maybe that's worth it. Maybe she doesn't want to stop you from being able to wear it. Maybe she can take an allergy pill like my wife, who's very allergic to freaking everything, and get a Benadryl and she'll be fine.
Yeah, we've had one of our watchers, Roderick, has suggested maybe get some swatches from different mills to do some skin tests.
That's a good
and
idea.
Hippie Don is saying, this is awesome, thanks so much. We'll definitely experiment and see what kind of works best.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
We're good.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily take the whole thing and just rub it on the face.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Wool tartan bed sheets. Hear me out.
Oh.
But don't tell her. No. All right, Mac.
Alrighty, so we have Mr. Jason Collins from Facebook. What is marled yarn? I hear y'all talk about it all the time, but you really don't. Really don't understand what it really is.
Sure. So, this is actually a very easy one. Yarn, the threads of yarn that go into weaving or making up a kilt. The yarn comes essentially 2-ply, I guess it is. When it is spun, you take 2 individual strands of wool and you spin them together. So it goes on a machine that spins them. So it's like big long twists. So each individual thread, if you pull out one thread from your kilt, that's 2 things twisted together make up that single thread. All a marled yarn is instead of taking bottle green and twisting it together, you take bottle green and a slightly different color of bottle green, or if you took for like a charcoal marl, you take this medium gray and a darker gray, and you twist them together, and it gives a marled, kind of mottled or marbleized effect to the actual individual strands. And when you weave that all up together, it kind of has like a fuzzy look or a tweedish look or like a staticky kind of effect to the cloth.
Yeah, I'd say heathered look would be another way to describe it. As it's not as crisp. It's gonna be softer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of like if you take I like how you're saying that, like with the 2 separate ones, like even saying like a black and like a gray wrapped in there, where it softens and everything, gives it that fuzzy warm feeling.
That warm fuzzy, yes, indeed. Now, not every mill does it. Loch Heron does a few marled yarns. I'm thinking of like their Highland Granite tartan. Has some flat yarns and some marled yarns within the same tartan, and they use like a marled gray in there. That's one of the first tartans I can ever remember using marled yarns, and I thought like, wow, that's a really cool effect.
Is that where your idea then to use some marled colors in the Irish Crest collection?
We didn't use any marled yarns in Irish Crest.
The Ulster
Oh,
crest.
oh, those. That was Martin Mills though.
But that was you had the marled in as part of it.
Yeah, I forgot that those existed. All right. When you design enough tartans, you forget about tartans that you've done.
But that's the first one I remember you specifically using, and I could be wrong. It could have been other ones, but that's the ones I specifically remember.
Yeah, I don't
since
remember,
my time.
I don't remember those being marled. I believe you. I just don't remember them being marled.
There was a section in each of them that was.
Yeah. I guess they were, because I'm remembering the Munster one.
Munster,
Had it,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would have been the first time we were doing it. The one mill that's really taken the Marled ball and run with it has been House of Edgar. They have a lot of yarns. They have entire collections. Their Hebridean collection, their 18 insert year number here, 1763 or whatever the year is. I don't know. One of their collections has a date, and I always forget the date. But they have a lot of different Marled yarns. Some of them I like more than others. Some of them are more subtle. Some of them are a little bit harder contrast. So yeah, Marled yarns. It's neat. The way I look at Marled yarns is it's literally just an arrow in the quiver. It's an arrow in your design quiver for designing tartans. So it gives it a different effect, a different level, a different a different thing, a different je ne sais quoi to different tartans.
Well, like the spark, like having that in there helped with that almost glow effect. With
Yep, and the smoke kind of effect. Yeah, agreed. So, yes. So Marled yarns are cool. I wish more tartans would use Marled yarns. I still think that some enterprising young mill or old mill should come up with a version of clan tartans, like standard colors, regular clan tartans, using Marled yarns.
What would I'm trying to picture like a Marled red.
Edgar did a few of them
Yeah.
in their collection, but in a lot of them they went like
It was
they
too
called it
dark.
like gun, or Marled gun or whatever, Hebridean gun, but it went like in
those.
weird colors.
Okay, yeah.
It was almost like teal, and they went off in weird colors.
Yeah.
But they have a Robertson red. Marled,
That's true, yep,
Which
I forgot
does look
about that
really,
one.
really good. Yeah, it's like a brick, almost like a
Yeah,
brick.
so they turn it a little bit deeper.
Yeah, but I think a mill should come up with standard colors of the the standard colors in the design, and then just marl them. That would be pretty
All of them?
cool. As many as commercially viable, I'd say.
No,
start
I
with-
mean all the threads.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
There's a weird thing with Marled yarns that I noticed specifically in House of Edgar's collection of the clan tartans that they did, because I remember Wallace. They did a green Wallace or a hunting Wallace, and it almost looks like there's a tartan sitting on top of the tartan, because it's like half marled and half not, and the way that it is so contrasted with solid section, marled section, it looks weird.
So like, almost like you're playing with the depth of field.
Yeah,
So you kind of
but
got
not
like
in a good way.
That's why I was
like a
thinking
blurred background. Almost.
Yeah, I was thinking of playing with the depth of field like that, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Like using Marled for the background and having a pop for at least for a couple of the key colors for the, like if you have a pinstripe or something, or
Yes, but when think of a tartan that's like 50-50, like Wallace. And if the green from Wallace hunting is marled and the black is not, it looks like it's kind of like floating above. In my one man's opinion, in a not good way. Somebody else may come and like, wow, I really like that. That's a really cool effect. I love it. Sure, but for my money, nah, I don't like
it.
it.
Almost needs to be not as balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
With the jittery effect that we put in some of our stuff, like Appalachian Folklore or Spark and things like that, where it's a lot of small lines, it works better, in my opinion, in that way. So, cool.
okay.
So that's what Marled yarns are. It's a long-winded answer to a very simple question. All right, that was you, Mr. Eric.
Actually, this is going to dovetail off of what we were just talking about. I have a question here from Mr. Double J464, wondering about our tartan design feature. And I know this is about us, but I think I want to encourage people to play with it. So, with our tartan designer on our website, what color best matches turquoise? He is trying to design a tartan for his high school. And we also had another person asking if you can select marled yarn options on the tartan designer. So expand that and give us your best tips for how to use the tartan designer.
So for turquoise, the best color is going to be the far, well, this way in camera, the far right tab of custom color. You can go in there, and there's actually a color wheel where you can drag things up and down and around to dial in a particular color. off the top of my head, I haven't memorized every one of their colors, but I'd say like the Anderson blue, I think, is one of the colors. Anderson has a turquoisey kind of bold light blue.
Yeah, but depending how far turquoise he's got to go.
Correct.
I think the using the Pantone or the color wheel.
Yeah, the RGB color
Yeah.
wheel. Yep, that'll be your best bet. The thing that I would warn you about with that is if you are going to have something then designed, if you use a particular custom color, then there may be a fee for custom dyeing yarns to a particular shade.
Now, would he have to send a sample of that exact color to the mill then to make sure they match that? Even though what he sees on screen may be good for him, but when he sends it across, their screen may be showing it different.
Or the way his monitor is calibrated may be different. Agreed. The best way, yes, if you have a physical sample of a thing for a particular color, yep, we can send that over to the mill. If you don't have a physical sample of a thing, you can actually get a Pantone shade card, and there's different Pantone shade cards. The one that we use when we talk Pantone shade cards when someone's talking to us is Pantone shades for cotton fabric, because there's not one for wool. So that's the one that we use to dial in the color as close as we can get it. And the mill can use that without sending things back and forth. But I would also point out that even if it's your school colors, they may have an official Pantone color number for the school, or it may just be like scarlet red, and then it's, ranging from this color scarlet red to that color scarlet red, depending on the shirt or the pants or the notebook or whatever that you have for the school. A lot of times it's kind of close enough for government work when it comes to that thing. And what was the other question about?
Marled. I thought Marleds were on there.
Marled yarns are on there, but they're not marled. That is a limitation of our program, is that it just shows, basically the flat color. So, a little insight into how we did it is, it's literally me in my office with yarn shades and the computer in a well-lit room going like, yeah, okay, look at it on two different monitors, using the color calibration, the custom color thing, and saying, okay, this is as close as I'm going to get by eyeball to this marled shade. Here you go. Mark, who's one of our IT guys, Mark, load this in and say it's, shade 154, parentheses, marled. Unfortunately, the way that the Tartan Designer works, it doesn't have it's just flat colors. It doesn't have the ability to say, it's using these two shades in conjunction, and make it a staticky kind of look. So, yes.
I'm just picturing you down there with the glasses. No. No.
Better or worse? Yeah. A or B? A or B? Yes.
I went even worse. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The marled thread is the hardest part.
You missed your calling, Eric.
I did.
Yes.
I did.
Indeed. So, I hope that helps, kind of, and shows you how unscientific we are in a lot of ways. All right, Mac.
All right. I'm going to butcher this name, something fierce. Galweg? G-A-U-W-E-G? That's what I'm going with.
That guy.
From Reddit. I'm not on Reddit, so they can
But
track
we
me down.
are.
Yes.
There's a Kilts and Culture Reddit, subreddit. So go join that if you're on Reddit. Even if you're not on Reddit, join it anyway.
Please do.
And or Facebook group.
They're asking, how have kilts changed your life in tangible ways? Tell me a story about something great that had happened to you while wearing a kilt that probably wouldn't have happened if you weren't wearing a kilt.
Great thing that happened to me while wearing a kilt that wouldn't have happened otherwise. Met my wife wearing a kilt. Granted, she came into my shop, so there's that.
Were you wearing kilts before you started?
Yeah.
Or did that lead into it?
Yeah, I was wearing kilts before I started. Why don't you go, Mac?
What?
I'm dragging my feet to get you to go.
This is the same person who said, I'm going to go first next time.
Yeah. Well, I had an answer for this one, and I forget what my answer was. So I have to have time to remember it. I have a
Our
secondary
leader.
answer. Things that happened while wearing a kilt. So, Eric.
Yeah, I think it comes down to meeting people. It really does. I mean, I've had a lot of people who I've made friends with because the kilt helped me get a conversation started. I mean, Micah, my bestie, meeting her for the first time was because I was out in a kilt. It was a company function, as it happens, but we started talking about kilts, and then, we've just been friends ever since. The funniest thing that ever happened to me, which would not have happened if I hadn't been wearing a kilt, was I was once questioned by a police officer because this is when my kid was like a baby, and I was taking her for a walk. I had her in one of these backpack things where you put the kid in the backpack and they're up above your head, and I just started wearing kilts, and so I wasn't even thinking about it. I go out the front door of my house, and I go down the railroad tracks because there was a disused railroad track in my town where just went hiking all the time. So I'm walking down the railroad tracks with a baby in a backpack in a kilt. And I cross a crossroads, and I see behind me, just notice a cop car goes by. And then it comes back. And he's like, "Excuse me, sir.
This looks unusual.
Everything okay? Where are you headed?" And I'm like, "I'm taking my kid for some fresh air. I'm getting some exercise." "Oh, okay." And his brain was so fried. It's like, is somebody kidnapping this baby? It's like on the railroad. It was just.
Those kilt wearers. Always kidnap babies.
Yeah, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me wearing a kilt. But it's just meeting people, friends, making friends, other history nerds, frankly.
Okay. Mac, do you have one? I remembered mine. If you don't have yours yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Mine. I was trying to think of non-company specific things, because a lot of getting to meet and hang out with and become friends with the guys from Dropkick Murphys, because I had a kilt, I made a kilt, and they made kilts for Scruffy. That was cool, but it's company related. So the one that would have never happened had I not been in a kilt in regular world is I was at a Flyers game in my Flyers Tartan kilt. It was me, Liam, and my father-in-law, and between it was almost the end of the first period, and I'm like, all right, Liam, he wanted to go get some food or something. So we left the area, went into the concourse, and one of the Flyers cheerleader women came running up. She was like, "Oh my God, you're wearing a kilt." Yeah, she was like, "Do you want to be on the Jumbotron?" "Sure." "All right, you and your kid, follow me." So down into the bowels of the arena, and they were doing a who can rock out harder, because Iron Maiden was going to be at Wells Fargo Center. So who can rock out harder? It was me and some dad dressed in a suit with his kid. It was like father and son rock out thing. So me in kilt, flat cap on, Flyers jersey, and Liam. And then the crowd had to judge it. So I absolutely won. I kicked the crap out of the guy, and I wholly attribute it to me being in a kilt. So that would not have happened, and I would not have won had I not been in a kilt, is my gut. And then I won Iron Maiden tickets and gave him the Lance.
So jealous
I
of
do
that.
like metal, but I wasn't an Iron Maiden kid.
So freaking jealous of that.
Mac.
A lot of what kind of echo what Eric was saying. A lot of the stuff I've had, it's been all customer related and talking to customers. You kind of rabbit hole
at this point because we've been here for so long. Yeah,
into random things and different history things. Different. You just start from us doing this, people get to hear some of our likes, and then they're like, "Oh, you like this thing? Let's talk about this thing." And talking about great grandfather's War I uniform and that type of stuff. So it's
exactly
most of mine, I would say, are revolved around stuff in here. I'm trying to think of outside of here.
You joined the World War I unit with a with your kilt.
Yeah, and which is that's helped. It's weird because now there's people there that have watched this show that have now come up to me and be like, "Hey, you're that guy," and I'm like, "I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I promise."
Right. Yep.
Yeah, and it's so worse than us going to the Flogging Molly show. You're the guy from YouTube. You're on my TV. Well, hang on.
Whoa.
I'm only on your TV because you put me on your TV. But again, it's all a lot of that is customer related interactions. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm
We're-
stuck
we're-
now. I will think of 87 different things after this.
Of course.
But yeah, I've been since I saw the question here earlier. I was trying to come up.
We're in a weird place because our world revolves around this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is like my story about the cop with the baby backpack thing. That's from before I started working here. That was years ago.
Right.
We had a guy, Steven, mention that he feels the USA Kilts parties have been one of the coolest things that he's ever done in a kilt. And we had another person mention that they're on the Queen Mary 2 doing a transatlantic trip, and was kilted, and a woman ran up to him and said, "Help me make my husband jealous."
Ooh.
So he got a big kick out of that. So
Yep. A lot of those.
yeah,
The the other cool thing I'll say, back to when I was in my 20s, Rocky, was going to a bar, going to see the Hooligans or the Bogside Rogues or Dicey Riley down in Philadelphia, local Irish bands, and having women approach me for the first time in my life to dance with me only because I'm wearing a kilt, and having those kind of fun, back to the conversation starter type, situations. That was some pretty cool stuff that wouldn't happen had I not been in a kilt.
yeah. There's so many conversations that just start just because you're wearing
Yeah.
you're wearing a kilt. You're wearing something different out there, and it's like, oh, I love those things. And
One experience you have in a kilt that you have a lot less in pants, but you have a lot more when you're wearing a kilt, is getting wanded by the TSA. Your buckles are going to set off the alarm, so you're going to have some interesting discussions with the TSA on a regular basis, should you choose to fly in a kilt. So yeah, there's a lot of different life experiences that you have when you're in a kilt, outside of regular, regular clothing, so to speak. And I'm all for it. Absolutely. All right, that was you, Eric. Do one more. Well, I guess we'll do two more because we had a little lag in
Dos
time
más.
from the intro.
see. I'm not sure how we're going to answer this one, but I had someone ask. This is on YouTube. 5'20" in moose, 5'20" moose, on YouTube. Asked. I don't know. Pretty short moose, frankly.
Yeah.
Grouse foot kilt pins. Do they have to be worn one direction or the other? I.e., do you have to wear them with the claw pointed down, or is it acceptable to wear them with the claw pointed up? Especially if another aspect of the design has an actual orientation.
Sure. The answer is yes. The antique grouse foot kilt pins that I have seen typically have a jewel. So it's like the foot here, it's like three toes or whatever they have. So 3 toes here, and then a little bit of the leg, and then there's usually a metal sleeve kind of thing, and then a jewel in the top of it. So for my money, jewel should be up top, foot facing down. Now, if there's no jewel, maybe if it like tapers to a cone, like a silver cone kind of thing, then maybe you can wear it the other way around so the feet are up or the toes are up. That would be my thought. Mac.
I do like antique grouse kilt pins.
I love them.
I think they're just little old neat things.
Cool.
I don't know. I guess I just always expected them to go down. I never really thought about wearing them the other way. They can hold stuff for you. You put your keys
There you
on
go.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
There you go.
Meal-
You feel good about yourself every time.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
It's like a little Viennese sausages. You have a snack take with
Exactly.
you.
I like the little bits of history that are kind of wrapped up in it, and those types of things. So grousefoot, obviously for hunters and that kind of thing, would be a great thing to wear. Here's my other tangent that I learned kind of recently in lederhosen. You wear little teeth on it. You ever see guys in lederhosen have like a little chain of teeth?
I have to look now. I don't remember.
Are we talking about Germans or orcs?
Germans. Little chain of teeth.
Rotom.
And the teeth were basically the animals that you hunted. So it would
Okay.
have little, stag teeth or animal teeth on a little chain thing. Just learn that random fact. There you go. There's your useless fact for today. Lederhosen on the Kilt Show. So yeah, no, I
The teeth
like.
of your enemies.
Well, if your
It's
enemies
very
are
Klingon, actually. Yeah.
no, but it's neat having the old timey stuff and where the traditions
Kinda
come
filter
from.
back in.
Filter back in, and understanding where those traditions come from, to be able to honor them more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Eric.
Can I give some input?
Sure.
I think that the grouse foot pins are absolutely related to the hunting tradition,
Yep.
because grousing, and hill walking and stuff and all that. So I think it's very much something that came in with the Victorians because of gillies wearing. It's the kind of thing you'd expect a gillie or someone who's an avid hunter to wear. The problem is that grouse feet have also been used to make brooches and hat pins. So where he talked about the orientation of another part of the design, it's possible that what he's got is something that was originally meant to be on a hat,
Okay.
not used as a kilt pin. So I would say that if you have a design that obviously implies that, like let's say a shield, like a coat of arms, and the grouse foot's supposed to be up above it, as far as that was probably supposed to go on a hat, as opposed to a kilt pin where it's going to basically be like there might be a thistle motif on it. You have the jewel, like you just said, and then the claw points down. So take a look at the individual piece and see if it's possible it was meant to originally be worn as something else, like was it old lady's hat accessory, not a kilt pin.
I'm going to go a little bit weird tangential based on that as well. The orientation of the pin on the back. So if the pin,
might be a clue.
it has a catch, the catch is usually on the bottom, and the swing arm, with the hinge, the swing arm is on the top. So if that's on the top, then it should be, facing down. If it's the other way, then it should be going up.
And he just commented he saw one recently, probably not an antique, which I think is a key point, that had a stag's head attached to the cuff with the antlers oriented so that the claws would face upwards. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
That definitely sounds like some kind of a modern treatment, or was meant to be used
or
as a
not a
hat
kilt pin.
piece.
Yeah.
I'd argue that you should follow whichever way the swing arm on the pin goes, just for safety's sake.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you may lose your pin.
Yep.
So yeah.
Agreed. All right. Now, let's, the one thing we did, well, let's do one more question, then we're going to get back to the question of the day answers, and if people are excited about the World Cup here's actually, well, I'll do it in the end. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm shutting myself up.
All right. Jason McClellan, 6534 on YouTube. Any tips for keeping garter ties neat and tidy? I don't wash them. They don't seem to get too dirty at all, but should he? And yet the tassels, palms, are starting to get a bit tangled.
A bit ratty. I've not had the problem. So garter ties, different than flashes, but serve the same purpose, help hold the socks up, or kilt hose up. Now, if the ends of them kind of have a palm with basically, or little fringy bits. I hesitate to say like comb them out, because you're going to be combing out the. You could be combing out the twists in the yarn, or you could be fraying it, or pulling out some of the fibers if the comb you're using is too fine of a comb.
You have to use a wider points.
Yeah, I would say here, maybe steam them. Maybe use an iron and kind of iron it a little bit flat, or try to orient it as nicely as you can and kind of orient it flat. Before you put them away, make sure you're flattening it out as best you can.
You say not just balling them up and chucking them into your wherever you store them.
Exactly.
That would probably be potentially is where if you're laying them in and you're sliding another one in, the palm's pulling back on itself.
Yeah.
Or if you're just hanging them,
Yeah, you can hang them. What I do is I have them in my closet, and when I take them off, I put the two ties together, garter ties together, put 2 palms in my hand and just wrap them around my hand so that it's a nice, neat little cylinder. That way I can stack them easily, that kind of thing. But ultimately, I wouldn't fuss about it for 2 reasons. I wouldn't fuss too much about it for 2 reasons. One, it's meant to be kind of organic. It's meant to be look lived in. It's meant to look used. It's meant to have a little bit of fringiness to it, or craziness to it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it from that aspect. And the second aspect, it's not $1 million to replace it. If it really looks bad, if it gets really ratty because it's your favorite pair and you wear them 3 days out of the week, and it's your leg is rubbing up against carpet or something in your car and it's driving and it's catching on something. Okay, fine. Then buy a second pair. It's not like it's an accessory that costs $500. It's not like the kilt. It's not like a $500, $600, $700, $800 purchase. It's $30, give or take. So I'd say, yeah, maybe get a second pair once the first pair starts getting a little bit ratty.
And if they are rubbing against something, you can always wait till you got to the location to where you're going, and then put them on. It's a 2-second addition to add on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't talk to anybody that had ratty palms.
Oh.
How dare you have ratty palms?
They called them old ratty palms. No one ever cared to find out why.
All right, boys and girls. So, question of the day. How do you feel about Scotland in the World Cup? Are you excited for it? Here's the other question. On a scale of 1 to 10, ranging from what is soccer to goal, how do you feel about World Cup, about soccer, about this happening in North America in 2026? Eric, what has the excitement been? What's the level out in the comments?
They love the concept, but that ticket price has really scared people off, frankly.
Fair.
Sounds like a lot of pubs are going to be full.
And I think it's a local thing. It's kind of like if they come to my town, I'll be psyched for it.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. It's, if nothing else, it's an excuse to wear your kilt and support Scotland. So,
There you go.
indeed, break your kilt out of your closet and go tailgate with the Tartan Army and show them how it's done, boys and girls, especially in Philly. All right, boys and girls, thank you very much for joining us. Until next time,